Borada, good morning. Hi, welcome back to the channel. My name's Matt. I'm a landscape photographer based here in South Wales. Though today I'm actually here in North Wales. Come join me for some landscape photography. So that's the first image of the trip taken, and I've taken it on this lovely little beauty, this lovely little Yashica 35mm rangefinder. I'm enjoying using this camera at the moment. It is a delight to use. It's got a little selenium light meter built into the lens, so that's got the added sort of bonus. You stick some filters on you, it still meters correctly. But yeah, I'm enjoying using this camera at the moment. So on to the next location. Quick question for you. Where do you think I am? Grand Canyon? No. This is Anglesey. This is North Wales. This is a place called Parry's Mountain. It's an open cast copper mine. And the colours here are just simply amazing. So there's got to be a photograph somewhere. So let's go see what we can do. So, silly me, I've got to check how many shots I had left on the Hasselblad. Only other one left. So guess who's walking all the way back down to the car to pick up another roll of film, because I've only got one film back at the moment. But I think that's a good thing, because I've just shot the last one on that roll of Ecta, which I put in earlier. And the light's starting to soften a little bit now, starting to get a bit more of a glow as the sun starts to set. So we're entering golden hour. So I think some Portra 400 would suit this place, given all the reds in the ground. Portra should extenuate those a little bit. I might even be brave and break out some Velvia 50. So I've made it back from the van with a roll of Portra 400 now. So that means I can take some more photos on the Hasselblad. I mean, look at the colour on that landscape behind me. It's just absolutely amazing. So there's a composition just behind me, got a bit of water, a little bit of a water course going through it. Let's go see if I can make anything of that, and I'll put the image up to let you have a look. Welcome back to Snowdonia. Some interesting noises. So I've come down to one of the lakes just outside Quary this morning, and just before sunrise you can see the sun rising in the background behind me, but there's a lovely temperature inversion going on down on the water. So I'm going to make my way down, see if I can get something with this lovely mist, because as soon as the sun comes up over that horizon, that mist is just going to burn off. So some lovely colours in the sky behind me coming. So I'm hoping, because we've got some mountains down that way, I can't remember what they call it off the top of my head, I think it's Llyn, that's down that way. So I'm hoping that the morning light is going to give us a bit of alpenglow on those, because there's no clouds in the sky, so we're not going to get any colours for sunrise. But anyway, I've got the Hasselblad with me today as well, so let's have a little bit of fun. I've got some Portra 400 loaded in that, so let's see if we can get some images on film as well. I'll speak to you in a moment. So the light's just starting to come up behind you, not behind me. Probably got another 25 minutes, half hour till sunrise. I don't think you see the mist just hanging low on the water behind me. And the water is so still, it's like a mirror. Like a mirror it is. I don't think I've seen water this still for a long time. There's a couple of rocks in the water which I'm going to use in my composition today. So I'm going to go find some to single out. And like I said, as the sun comes up behind you and starts lighting behind me, then hopefully we should get some lovely colours and some lovely effects with this mist as well. But it's absolutely beautiful up here. So I'm going to go set up, get a composition, because this mist is starting to move up the valley quite rapidly, and I'm going to lose it if I don't get myself in position. So I shall catch you in a moment. So I'll talk you through this first composition which I've come across. Just see behind me, so that little rock there. I've got the camera set up, focused on that, because it's like a mirror and there's no movement in the water at all. f5.6, 4-second exposure, and yeah, abstracty art. So let's take a picture if I can find my cable release. Excuse me, balance sort of precariously on a load of rocks here, so anyway, there it is. Let's take the picture. Absolutely beautiful. I love this part of the world, I really do. So as you can hear, the road behind me now is getting a little bit more noisy as people start waking up, make their way to work. It is a Monday morning today, but you can see the mist has gone from behind me. However, it's still hanging around over there, and just look at the reflections which we're getting. It's absolutely stunning location, and I'll post down below where my location is, but yeah, this mist hanging around. As soon as the sun comes up that way, I'm hoping it's going to bring a lot of colour into the scene from that direction as well. But just look at this, absolutely stunning. What an amazing part of the world. So as you can see, the light is up behind me now. I'm sorry I didn't record any of that just now, but the light was just changing so quickly that I just didn't have a chance to get the camera out, record and take some photographs at the same time. I'm going to call it a day here and have a wander back to the van and go find a cup of coffee and some breakfast as well. And I think I might have just caught my favourite image of the trip so far. So I've made my way back up to the van. The light, sun is up now. The light is quite harsh at the moment, particularly now it's streaming down the valley. I got Snowdon up ahead of me, and yeah, the light's nothing special. There's a bit of haze as well, and it's not making for any interesting photographs, to be honest with you. So the other reason I'm back up at the van is as I was changing my position, I slipped off one of the rocks as well, and I went for a little dip into the water, some nice icy cold water to wake me up this morning. So my legs up to my knees are absolutely soaked. So I'm going to head back to my hotel, get a quick change of clothes, and I think I might pay a visit to Llanberis and Dinorwic. There's a slate quarry up there. I've been there a couple of times, had a little wander around. I've only explored the upper levels. So I'm going to park up and just have a little walk around. Welcome to Dinorwic Slate Quarry. Absolute amazing place. This is just the upper level. So I'm going to try and get down a little bit lower this time. But yeah, last time I was here it was horrible. It was wet. It was really miserable. And today the sun's shining. Not a cloud in the sky. Not the best for photography, but we'll see what we can come up with. So this is the Anglesey Barracks at Dinorwic Slate Quarry, and it's mad to think, looking at the size of these dwellings, that workers would be shipped in from Anglesey, hence the name Anglesey Barracks, to quarry the slate that was here. I mean, these houses are absolutely tiny inside. You've got a duct to get into any of them. There's a tiny little fireplace. And that is it. It's just one room. Just one room. So it's mad to think what life was like living in these. But anyway, let's go get a photograph. So, here we are for sunset. Oh, sorry, just after sunset, I should say. Bit of a mad rush this evening, sunset-wise. Purely because I paid a visit to the Ogwen Valley, thinking I could get an image from there. But it quickly became apparent that wasn't going to happen. So I had a little wander up to the boathouse. Took a quick picky by the boathouse, as you always do, and by the time I got back down to the van, it was a bit of a rush to try and find a good location for sunset. So I've come back down onto the road between Quary and Begellet, which is where I was this morning, give or take a few miles. And I've stopped at this lay-by, purely because I got the Snowdon Massive in front of me in the sun. So I just put my coffee down, and the sun was setting behind it. So I thought I'd try and get a silhouette image. And at the time, it's thrown some lovely colours off as well. It's not the greatest composition in the world, but, you know, needs must, and beggars can't be choosers and all that. But there was a little bit of high altitude cloud just above Snowdon as well, but that's unfortunately faded away to nothing now. It's burnt away. So, yeah, with it being, clear sky all night, all day and all night, it's, he wasn't going to lend to a good sunset anyway. But this is the image which I managed to capture earlier, just as the sun was setting down behind Snowdon. So this is my last night here in North Wales. I've got to head back home now in the morning. But I tell you, when I was down the Ogwen Valley earlier, there was a 3-ship of American F-15 fighter jets coming down the valley, and they couldn't have been more than a couple of 100 feet off the ground. I could see the whites of the pilot's eyes as the one aircraft passed over me. And that got me thinking, shall I head down to the Mac Loop on the way home? But then I look at all the climbing I done around Dinorwic today, and my legs are aching, and I know there's some steep climbs to get up onto the levels for the Mac Loop to get some good views. But I don't know. We'll see. We'll play it by ear, see what comes of it. But no, I got my coffee on the go in. Battery's just gone flat on my camera as well, so I need to change that. I'm hoping that the moon's going to start coming down behind the mountains as well. So it sets about 9:30, and we're just entering blue hour, hence why it's so blue behind me there. So hopefully, we might get an image. Day today. I'm going to be making my way back home this evening, so I thought I'd pop down to a little place called, excuse my pronunciation, Llyn Gwynant, and it's a bit of a reservoir, fishing lake, glacier lake. So I've been having a little wander around, and there's a nice footpath that leads all the way around the edge of the lake. And I've come across this tree, which you can just see over my shoulder. Now unfortunately the sunrise didn't happen. There's quite a lot of hill fog around and almost grey skies above. So there's no colour in the sky for sunrise. So I thought, well, what else could I do? And I stumbled across this tree, and this is a lovely dry stone wall leading up to it. The beautiful little S shape there. Now I think it's going to suit a black and white image, purely because the sky is so boring, disinteresting and flat. So let's see what we can do. I'm at 50mm on my Tamron 24-70, f9, quarter of a second, focused on the tree, and let's take the photograph. Object of this trip for me was to try and get back into film photography. It's using digital cameras is fairly easy. Anyone can pick up a digital camera these days, take a photograph and get a nice image. With the amount of processing power in tools like Photoshop, Lightroom, even on your mobile phone these days, anyone can get a nice image. But film takes a little bit more skill. It certainly reintroduces the craft of photography, and you can't just spray and pray and hope you get an image. You've got to sit down, you've got to think about it, you've got to meter your scene correctly, you've got to choose the right film to an extent. So that for me was something which I wanted to get out of this trip. I've probably done about 50-50 film and digital. And the thing with the digital camera is I can see what my images look like straight away. So I get that instant gratification from them. However, with the film, even though it looks absolutely lovely through the viewfinder, I've still got to wait till I get home, develop those images and scan them into the computer with the hope that I've got my exposures right. And if not, it's a learning curve for me. And that's the good thing I can take from this trip is I've come up here, I've stepped out of my comfort zone, and I've given a different genre of photography a go. And I think we should all do something like that every now and again. You know, just step out your comfort zone, find something you're not comfortable with, shoot a subject you're not comfortable with. If you're a landscape photographer, go shoot some portraits. If you're a portrait photographer, come shoot some landscapes. You know, try your hand at something different, because even though you don't get that instant gratification from it, you can learn from the process, and hopefully you can employ that into your own photography. So that's it, that's the shoot done. I don't think I'm going to get anything else from this location, so I'm going to pack my stuff up and I'm going to start heading back down to South Wales, back home. I might stop off on the way down for a bit of a sunset though. I think we might be lucky and around the Brecon Beacons way find somewhere to get a nice sunset. So if you've stuck with the video this long, thank you first of all, and you've got some good stamina. And I do apologise for wasting so much time which you're never going to get back. But if you did like the video, click down below, subscribe, give me a thumbs up and leave a comment. It's always nice to read comments from people. And if you are bored, pop along to my website as well, which is www.mrwphotos.com. And have a little browse through the online shop there. There's some lovely prints, and there's going to be a photo book, which I'll be uploading shortly. So yeah, have a little read and see if there's anything you like. So I'm going to sign off and thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.